Today we're going to learn how to create a Google form. So what do you mean by Google Forms? Google Forms is a web-based app which is actually used to create forms for data collection. Students and teachers can use Google Forms to make surveys, quizzes, or even registration sheets. It helps you to gather data through a form and it is stored inside a spreadsheet. So let's learn how to create a Google form. To use form, you need to be signed into your Gmail account. Once you have signed in, click the 6 icon button and click Drive. Then it will load the page. Click New. Then click More button. Then click Google Forms. You can see two options. One is blank form and the other one is form template. Click blank form. And this is a blank page open for you to create the registration form. So let's give a file name. So we're going to type Music School Registration. We're going to give the same form name as Music School Registration and give the form description. Register to our music school, and then we're going to enter the first question. First question is name. So for a name, the question type that you have to choose is short answer. To create the next question, you have to click plus button. The second question is birthday. You have to choose a question type as date. To add the next question, click the plus add button. Choice of instruments. So for choice of instruments, I'm going to give the type as drop down. You're going to select drop down, then you have to give the options for it. So the first one is violin. Then I'm going to give another option guitar. The third option I'm going to give tabla. The fourth option is sitar. Now if suppose you want to delete any one of the options from here, you can just click this close button. Now I'm going to give one more option, it's violin. And then once you've done with this, click add button. Now if you want to give start date and time, so now you have to select date and then you need the time as well. So for that you can click this 3 dash button. You click that button and you can say include time. Add the button, phone number, click short answer for that. Respond validation. What do you mean by validation? Phone number, you cannot give a text or a character. It should be a number. So that's what automatically a respond validation has been added. So you can set this as it should be only a number. This is a number. If suppose a student is going to enter a string or a character, you can give an error text here, invalid phone number. If you want to fix that particular question as mandatory, so then you can click this require button on. You just click on that particular button and make it on so that the student won't miss that particular field. Next, if suppose you want to shift this particular field on top, what you can do here is you can see a small dot buttons here. You just click on that particular button and then drag up so it and you place it where exactly you want it. Now if you don't want this choice of instrument to be as a second field, you want it towards the end of the page, you can just click on the 6 dot button and then click and drag down, drag towards the end of the page. So that's how you shift each question tab from one place to another. So once you've created your form, the next step is to view the form. So now how will you view? So you want to have a preview of this particular form. For that you can see an eye symbol over here. Just click on this eye icon to get the preview of the form. So when you click that, you can see the form. So now if you're happy with the registration form, you can go to the closest particular page and go to the main page. Yes. So now you've created your page here. Let's learn how to change the theme of this particular form. So for that, you can see the right top, you can see a small button which is known as customize theme. So this button name is known as customize theme. So you click that particular button and you can pick a color over here. I'm going to choose green. So if you want to choose an image for the header, you can click choose image, and here you can see three options. One is themes. These are the default themes that is there in your Google Forms. Or if you have your customized picture, you can click upload and then browse. Yes, so you can crop and adjust your picture however you want. If you want it as such, so you can choose a picture over here. You can click done, close this button. So once it closes, you can see the theme of the page has been changed. Now, if you want to create another section, if we want this fields to be in first page, and now if you want to create another section, so what you can do is you can just click this two dash button and then immediately there will be another section created. So this section will be acting as a second page. Now, if you want to delete this particular section, you can just click this three dot button and delete section. Once the registration form is ready, the next step is you have to attach this form to a spreadsheet. So all the data that you are going to collect will be stored in this Excel sheet. Next to this tab, you can see a response button. Click that particular button, and when you click that particular button, you can see accepting responses. This should be on. Plus, you can see a create spreadsheet button over here, a green cross button. Click that green cross button and you can see there are two options. The first option is to create a new spreadsheet with the same form name. Go for this option. You have to click this option button and then click create spreadsheet. Now this form will be linked with the spreadsheet. For what? For you to collect the data and store it over here. Now in this spreadsheet, you can see the time span, the name, the email ID, phone number, gender, birth date. Once you click create inside your Google Drive, you can see a spreadsheet automatically created by this name. So now I'll take you to that drive. So I'm going to my email ID and I'm going to click here. If you go to the drive, go to the drive. So now if you go to your drive, you can see the Google form that you have created and also the Excel sheet that you've just created inside your drive. So each time when you create a document, all the documents, all the Google documents will be saved inside your drive. Now next, let's talk about settings. Can you see a gear icon over here? This icon is known as settings. So once you click that particular settings, it will take you to the panel, a setting panel. So let's start with general. If your student or the participants require a copy of their response or the registration form, then you go ahead with this option. So here I'm going to uncheck. Now, next option is limit to one response. If you're going to click this checkbox, then your students or the participants should log into their Gmail ID and then fill in the forms. So it will make sure that the students or the participant just fill once. This button is basically for your respondent to edit the form after they submit the form. So if you don't want them to edit the particular form after they have submit, then make sure you uncheck this box. Once you get or collect the data from the respondents, now if you want to see all the response in a form of a summary chart, then you can click this particular, you can check this box. This one is presentation. So the progress bar is going to show how many questions each and every participant have answered, and that's about progress bar. The last option that you can see is show link to submit another response. Now if you're going to check this checkbox on, that is limit to one response, that is the respondents can only respond once, then automatically this link would be unchecked. The next one is confirmation message. Once the participants or the students submit their form, what should be the message or the response given back to them. So now you can just type thank you for registering. You can just give a message, thank you for registering. So this is very important. And then if you want to limit your participant to send just one message, then you can click this checkbox, but make sure that they have to sign into their Gmail ID to respond to your form. And then once you've set this, you can click save. So let's see how to get the data from the registration form into your spreadsheet. So for that, you can just test it. So to test, you can just click this preview button. So once you click the preview button, enter the name, and you can give an email ID, enter all the fields that is required over here, and then click submit. So once you click submit, thank you for registering. So you can see the message that you had set in under presentation setting is displayed over here. Now when you go back to your spreadsheet, so let's go back to your main page. Here when you look at, you can see it's two responses, the summary. See the summary, it is Anu, and all the details that she has entered. See, and you can see the graph is, if you go to your Excel sheet, you can see the detail that you have entered is automatically updated in the Excel sheet. Let me enter another data, go to questions, and then click preview. Now this message is because I tried to enter the data using the same email ID, because you have already given a setting that the respondent can only fill the form once. So if you have opt for that particular setting, then it is not going to let you respond multiple times. Now you've created the form and you have linked this particular form to an Excel sheet, so that whatever data is collected is stored inside the Excel sheet. Now once these two steps are done, the next thing is you have to start sending this particular form. So the form can be sent using your mail ID, or you can get the link of this particular form and share it with your friends. So for that, what you can do here is you have to click send button. So you're going to learn about send. So click send button. If you have your email ID, just type your email ID over here. So you can click your email ID and music school registration. I have invited you to fill out a form, and you can give, if you know a set of student email ID, you can directly give the name here or the email ID here and include form in email. So now automatically, if you click this checkbox, automatically this form will be linked to this particular email. Once you've done that, you click send button. So once you click send button, I've received a mail over here. So fill out in Google form. So you can type the name, email ID, all the options that you have given, and then click submit. So this is how your students or this is how your participants or the students are going to access the form in their mail ID. Now if suppose you want to share this particular form in a form of a link, then again go and click send. Then can you see the second option is link, a kind of, can you see a small option? You just click that particular button. Automatically there will be a link where you feel this link is quite big. Now if you want to shorten this link, you can select this option, shorten URL. So you'll get a reduced URL, and then you can click copy it, and then you can immediately send it to your mail. So once you get the link, first step is you can send it to your mail ID, copy it from your phone, and then you can share it with your students or the participants through WhatsApp. So now you've seen how to send a Google form. Now, if suppose you have closed a registration and you want the participant to stop filling the form, so for that there is an option. So from this Google Drive itself, you can get the page. So you can open it. It will be open over here, and go to responses, and then you uncheck the accept responses button. Now this form will be closed for submission. So once you uncheck this particular button, now this form will be inactive so that no participants can fill the form. So this is how you close a registration using a Google form. You can also try working on the templates provided in Google Forms. You can just edit the templates and then follow the same instruction. Once you have implemented, just send me one copy to the mail ID displayed on the screen. Thank you.